we had a blast. So, real quick, if you were on that trip, will you want to raise your hand for me? Perfect. Awesome. I hope that you hear lots of stories tonight from people who have their hands raised. But if for some reason you want to know more or you have questions, feel free to ask them what their experience was like, and I'm sure they'll tell you. We had a blast. And at the end of that week in the sun and the heat and grueling work, we built 2 houses for families that have never had a home to call their own, which is just a beautiful testimony of what the Lord is doing in the world right now. He is adopting people into his family and giving them new life. And we just got to step out into kind of a really unique and cool way of saying, hey, we think that you're a part of God's family because you love Jesus, and even if you don't right now, this is a free gift that we give to you, just like Jesus gave us a free gift of his love and mercy. And I want all of you to experience that. So if you're in middle school or you're in high school and you are looking forward to Mexico next year, high schoolers, you can sign up. So 8th graders up right now, unless you're a senior and you're going to college. You are welcome to come next year. But tonight, we are going to hear some stories and testimonies. And first, we're going to hear from my friend Jonathan. So you can start coming up here. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. But if you know that you're sharing tonight and you're like ready to go, even if you want to wait a couple people, just go to Emma in the back and she'll check on what you're doing and then she'll send you up, okay? So if you're sharing tonight, go ahead and head back there and wait for Emma to give you the go ahead. But Jonathan, why don't you take that mic right there? Actually, is that okay? Sound team? No. Can he take any mic? You just want me to give him this one?
Can you take that one?
Okay, perfect. You can take this mic. Here, hold it. Sorry. Alrighty, perfect. That silence is actually great because while my friends are up here sharing, I would like you to be pros, okay? So I want you to be present in the room, which means like actually being physically in the room. And then I also want you to be respectful and reverent of what people are sharing up here. So don't be talking to your neighbor unless you're whispering like, whoa, that's so cool, and then like go right back to focusing. And then, sorry, I called you up here a little early. And then just be thinking about the people around you, okay? Don't be talking to your neighbor. Be thinking of the people on stage who are sharing with you, and be respectful. Sound good? Can you do that? Awesome. All right, Jonathan, what do you have to share for us on what you saw God do in this trip?
I saw him do I just saw how happy they were, really. We drove in, and obviously it was way different than Portland. It was houses made of plywood and tin and stuff, tarps for roofs. And there's a lot of poverty, but to me, the biggest thing was the happiness in the midst of that. Because we grew up in a culture where it's we need things to be happy, you know, cool cars or money or a big house or clothes, makeup, stuff like that. But they didn't have any of that, and that was just really cool for me to see how they tried to help us with the project. They gave us food and they were out there helping us. But other than that, they just shared their joy with us, and that for me was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely walked away with more joy in this trip, even doing hard work because of the family's joy. That's so true. Awesome. Anything else you want to share or highlight for us? Your favorite part, maybe?
I think the favorite part was getting back after a long day, and then just I don't know, showering and eating, and then just showering, and then just sitting down with everybody and devotions and just having a good time with everybody. It was just a big family, so it was nice.
Yeah, so sweet. We just give it up for Jonathan. Was Tate up here? No? Oh, is it there? Okay, perfect. My friend Tate's gonna come up and share your experience. And then also, you'll notice that we have some pictures from our trip up here. Some of them are funny, but try your best to focus regardless, okay? But they're really good. All right, Tate, what do you have for us?
Hey everyone. So, I've never really done anything like this before, and it was an interesting experience. So, between, on the border, San Diego and Mexico, it's night and day. The poverty that all the people are living in is just, it's really sad, honestly. But what I saw when I was helping build the house, there was so much joy in the poverty. Like you wouldn't, in our culture, like Jonathan said, we are like our culture here is like you need things to be happy, and they barely have anything, and you expect them to not be happy, not be joyful. But honestly, I saw even more joy than we see here sometimes, and it was amazing. It was amazing to see all the joy. I was there, and I'm going back again next year. It was amazing.
Awesome. And you got to do this trip with your dad and your
Yeah, it
brother,
was
which was
fun.
really sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
family
it
on
worked
mission.
really hard.
You worked so hard.
Nice
You
job.
guys crushed it.
Nice job.
Perfect. Thanks, Kate. Perfect. All right. Give it up for Sean. All right. What do you have for us?
I just liked how the family we helped on the other side, how they were just happy no matter what conditions they were living in, and I was just makes me very like grateful and just like I have to appreciate what I have right now and what we all have, because people like that live every day, but they still have just a smile on their face, and at the end I'm just happy that they got the keys and that they even asked us to put our handprints on the cement to remember us, and yeah, that was probably one of the best moments in my life.
That's so sweet. That's awesome. Yeah. Anything else, Misha? Favorite part?
I liked getting through the border.
You made it, guys. He did it. Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. And you made it home. We're very happy. All right, that's awesome, Sean. Thanks, dude. Give it up for Sean. Rory, I hope you tell our Ardent family how much you translated on this trip. He was our go-to, like, we need our friends in Spanish to understand us, and he would translate constantly for us. So I hope you talk about that. But if you don't, I just shouted you out because it was really cool to see.
Well, this trip was really fun. It was my first time ever doing like hard work. I'd never really like built anything or I don't know, worked hard. But it was a really good way to learn how to work hard, and I think it's truly like a viewpoint that can really help everybody. And this trip just really helped me get closer to Jesus. I don't think I've ever felt that way before. And just being surrounded by people and being able to worship and having people encourage you the entire time was really fun.
So beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah, you especially, I feel like, worked so hard, and you were trying new things with translating, and it was really awesome and humbling to see too. So your whole crew, it was awesome. All right. Anything else? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was probably the nightly worship and also Mafia.
Mafia was good every year. All right. Thanks, Rory. Give it up, guys. Lily and Bella. Buddy system, perfect. I like it. All right, yeah, you guys, every year, start sharpening your Mafia tools as we play, and it gets brutal. All right, who's going first?
Okay, I guess I'm first. I think it was just like mind changing to see the amount of poverty that they were living in was just crazy, because you drive from San Diego 10 minutes to the border, and the second you travel over, it's just people are living in plywood shacks and dirt with a tarp roof. People are walking around with amputated legs and crutches. People have dogs everywhere with open wounds. It's just mind changing. And yet we helped this family have an amazing home, and yet they're the most happiest people in the world.
It's just like mind changing to see how much joy they had. Like we would play soccer with the kids and they would just be so happy for a little thing.
Yeah, Also, Lily, I'm gonna shout you out because Lily told me all this. Can I tell them what you said? Yeah, I'm going to. All right. Lily turned to me while we were working. She was like, I feel like I'm complaining way less here than I do at summer camp. Like, summer camp is really hot. We're really tired. But this girl was so focused and so driven on getting the task done ahead that she would just, like, silently move from task to task without even thinking about it. And, like, I feel like I saw God move in that way for you of, like, just taking pride in the work that you were doing and knowing that it wasn't just for you and like the sore muscles weren't just to work hard but to do something kind for another person. And I feel like I've even seen that change in you, and like every student who went on this trip has had that like mindset shift like you were saying and coming home. So that was really cool for me to see with all of you. So love it. All right, anything else? Favorite parts?
Watching Lily win Mafia.
Every night, bro. It was crazy. You too? Mafia? Yeah. First time winning Mafia ever in her life, too. It's pretty good. All right, give it up for these two. And then all right.
Hey, I'm Caleb. I was going to talk a little bit about my experience. So it was really life-changing to see all these people and their happiness. Just like, was insane because I never expected someone living in that condition to be that happy. And, you know, it was really hard building those houses. A lot of sweat and a lot of hard work went into those houses, and I was really proud of the way they turned out. And, you know, sometimes I felt like I want to be done, I want to go back. And I was exhausted, but I knew that these people really needed it. And I feel like just knowing that was so worth everything that we put into it. And I mean, they even gave us like some fresh fruit they made, which was the best they could give us. And it was like amazing, you know, it's like them giving that to us was like them giving someone like $100. It was like their best they had, and it was just really special to know that they cared about us like that. And I mean, like when we got the kids a new soccer ball, they just acted like it was won the lottery. It was insane to see how happy they were, and I was really happy we got to do that. And yeah, I'm really glad I went on that trip. My first ever mission trip, but it was super worth it, and I would definitely go again.
So cool. All right. Oh, we got a whole team coming out at once. I love it. All right, Rowan, we'll start with you. Or Isak, sorry, do you have a plan? Okay, perfect. Okay, Wiley.
Hola. I did learn that, yeah. In Mexico, there's a lot of poverty and stuff, and that really just opened my eyes to how good we have things here. And I'm just really thankful and grateful for all that. And yeah, it's my big thing.
This whole experience just really opened my eyes because my parents and grandparents grew up like this, like not too different from these conditions, and it just gives me more of a, like it just makes me more thankful because they really worked hard to give me the life I have right now. I'm very grateful for that.
There's so many things I can say about this trip, but most of it's already been said. So a thing that I haven't really heard was unity, and that was really big when we were over there. Like everyone was working together, working really hard, and when we were at the work site, everyone was really on task. And I was out there wearing a goofy hat and a goofy belt, and it didn't matter because everyone was working hard. And with at worship, at the campfire, like Mafia, it really touched me with everybody just together, and just how much strength and how much we did with just 40 people, and it was pretty impactful. And I saw God with all the perseverance that everyone had when we were there.
So awesome. All right, you guys give it a hand. John Beasley to the stage, please. Go for it, dude.
It was just so eye-opening seeing the poverty there. Like,
there were so many people who were just completely homeless, no home. People who did have a home, a lot of them were just living in plywood. But even through that, those were like the most generous, loving people I've ever seen. Like, when we finished building the houses for one of the families, the mom of the family said, now that I have a house that I can live in, I can share my space with others so that I can help the community.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Will you talk about too playing soccer with the family and just how cool that was?
Yeah, it was so cool. The kids had so much joy, just the little things, just being able to kick the ball and like they had an old beat up soccer ball, looks like from a long time ago, like tears in it all over the place. We got them a new one. The look on their face was amazing and they just loved it so much playing with all of us.
So sweet. Thanks, John. That's awesome. Wes, beautiful. I think you were one of our youngest on the trip too.
Yeah,
So you
I was the only 8th grader going. Fun, but I also had my dad and my brother, so that was nice. Going there, I honestly had a great time. But what was, like most people, was eye-opening for me was the poverty that they lived in. Like most people said, they were just living in shacks. Most often just didn't really have a home. But even though they were living in that poverty, they were still open to sharing what little they had and the joy that they had. Like John said, one of the first things that the grandma or mom, I can't remember which one it was, said when we gave them the keys was, now that I have a home, I can help others have a home. And what I think that shows is we need to, even though we have so much that we can give, they couldn't give, and yet they still give. And we are just so selfish about what we have. I feel we just gotta be more like them, and that's pretty eye-opening for me. I feel like I can be better at doing that. I often am kind of selfish, so that was eye-opening for me. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's powerful. Thanks, Wes. Go ahead.
Alright, there's a couple of things I want to share. So many good stuff everyone else has already shared. The first one is actually on the verse that you shared the first night. I'm going to read it to you guys. So it's 1 Peter 1, 6 through 7. And it's, you rejoice in this, even though now for a short time, if necessary, you suffer grief in various trials, so that the proven character of your faith, more valuable than gold, which though perishable is refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. And we talked about that on the first night on how no matter what things we go through, the hard things, the things that are gonna push us and be uncomfortable and just not fun, we have the opportunity to either let that be something that refines us and purifies us, or the analogy you used was it could burn us. And I think I was so encouraged by the other leaders and especially the students who let those opportunities of things that were hard and could have hardened our hearts, instead of letting that happen, students leaned into letting it purify them and letting it strengthen their faith and strengthen their walk with the Lord. So that was super encouraging. The other thing, and I feel like it was really cool, we had a couple Spanish speakers with us, so we got to communicate quite a bit with the family. And something that James shared actually on the last night when we kind of all went around and shared our takeaways, and I didn't know this till the very end, but the grandma of one of the houses told James that a house and what we had given her was something that she'd been praying for almost 40 years. And that struck me of God used us, this small church in Wilsonville, all the way up in Oregon. He took this youth group down in Mexico, and brought us all the way there to answer this woman's prayer that she's been praying for 40 years. And it was because we chose to step into that. And so super encouraging just to see the fruits of abiding in what comes from abiding in the Lord.
So beautiful. Thanks, Courtney. That's awesome. What an intro.
Hi, I've been so wrapped up in everyone's stories I didn't fully process my own. But I would say something that really impacted me from Mexico was just seeing how quickly everyone cheered each other on. I think it's a really easy environment to be in competition mode of who can saw this fastest or who can get the most stucco done. And even if we did fun little races, it was also we were cheering each other on so much. And I just thought that was so cool that there was no seeds of jealousy of oh, they're really good at this but I'm not good at that. It was just oh my gosh, you're so amazing, that's so cool that you can do that. And I just thought that was so special and something that's so kingdom is cheering each other on in their strengths and knowing that even if it's my weakness, it doesn't mean that it makes me weak, but we all have different strengths. And so I think that was really cool. And yeah, just getting to worship every night and hearing being in a campsite and then having a bunch of other churches around us and hearing all of the other churches worshiping at the same time was just so cool. And we're not doing it all together, but we are, because we all serve one Jesus who loves all of us. And so it was just super cool to have that unity even in the campsite, even when we're not building houses together, but we're all doing it for a cause, and the cause is to share the love of Jesus. So I just thought that was super, super special. So awesome.
or your parents have one and you've seen it, it looks like a little spaceship on your counter. It's like a crock pot. But what you do when you put things in an Instant Pot is it cooks it so fast. You can make rice in 4 minutes when normally it takes 50 minutes. I know. And I feel like this trip was an Instant Pot for making this crew feel like a family. When I'm here with you guys every Wednesday night, we are a family. And also, going for 5 days on this trip with these 40 people, it felt like we were just in this family Instant Pot, and we all got so close so fast. One of my absolute favorite takeaway memories is actually seeing the sophomore guys plus Rory just being absolute buddies. It was so fun to watch. You guys were my favorites. No, sorry, I don't have favorites. That was really cool for me to see. I loved it. I really don't have favorites. Okay. Anyways, and the other thing that Julia said too is I loved seeing as a family us cheer each other on, step in, and be able to use our different strengths to work together. And then this is a side note now. I remember 6 years ago when I went on this trip for the first time, I was so scared I was not going to be able to do a single thing because honestly I'm just not really very strong. And I was really nervous and scared to go. But being there on the trip and realizing, oh, I can do this, even if I don't know anything that I'm doing, even if I've never swung a hammer or hand sawed something before or made concrete from scratch, you actually can do this. Each and every one of you has the capability. So I know that it might feel scary to take that step of faith, like what Courtney was saying, but if you do, I guarantee you will have the best week in the Instant Pot family week that you could ever have. So I just encourage you guys to really pray about it and think about it and not let fear stand in your way of jumping in the Instant Pot.
Yeah, awesome. One last thing that I'll share. Yeah, give it up for Emma. One other thing that I'll share too, this is a side note, I'll be over. This is a side note from what I'll share, but this missions trip is never possible and is not possible without parents and leaders and people like Josh and Emma stepping up to make this trip happen. And then students, obviously, you're there tangibly building a house from scratch, where there was once a dirt floor less than the size of this stage, there is now 2 houses that families get to live in. And students, you definitely did that. But I just feel called, maybe convicted. Holy Spirit's laying on my heart. Emma Weaver puts in so much work to make this trip happen, and it is a testament to the work that we do at home to be on mission translates really well to doing these big missions trips in places like Tijuana or anywhere else that Grace Chapel sponsors missions trip. But you can live on mission right here, right now. You don't have to wait for spring break next year to do something tangibly kind or generous or giving to a person in your community, on your sports team, in your theater group, in your choir, in your school, in your own family. I guarantee you there is someone in your life who has a tangible need now, and maybe you can't provide that need for them out of your own pocket or your own resources, but you can definitely reach out and say, hey, I'm praying for you. I love you so much. I know that God loves you more than I ever could, and I want to live on mission in praying for you and being a good friend and a hospitable person and follower of Christ. And I guess that would be my encouragement to all of you is, like Emma preps for this trip all year, she also lives on mission. And I see so many of you living on mission, and I got to celebrate that in really big ways with a group of 40 people from Osmo, Oregon, building a house. And I get to see that in all of you every single week when you come and you invite friends to youth group and you come to church, even if your parents don't come to church, and you step out and you say, I want to do this Christian life thing because I know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and I want to live no other way. And that is tangible, and that's real, and that is as big as building a house in Mexico. So I hope none of you walk away here being like, oh, I didn't build a house for someone this year, so I can't do big things for the kingdom. You living for Jesus is a big thing for the kingdom in this world that is very broken and messy and needs the hope of the good news, the gospel, which we got to practice sharing tonight. Does that make sense? Do you get that? All right. Well, we are actually going to close in a bit more worship because God is doing big and tangible things in all of your lives. I actually firmly believe that. That's why I read that 2 Peter verse where he is talking about, I don't want you to forget the testimony of what God is doing in your life. I think sometimes we think my testimony is what God has done in the past, and actually God is writing your story right now. Your testimony is in the present. It's happening as we speak. And it is really beautiful, and it's really cool because it's like no one else's. So yeah, will you stand with me and let's pray and just give God thanks for what he did in Tijuana, Mexico this year, what he's going to do next year, and what he's doing right now in all of our lives as an Ardent family. Does that sound good? Awesome.